Welcome to my EFL Championship score predictions of the 2022/23 season. We are now up to game week 41 and we have only got 5 more games to go until the end of the season, and it is still all to play for at the bottom of the table in that relegation fight, and also the fight for the playoffs as well in that top 6. Burnley have already got promoted to the Premier League. They'll be looking to go for the title now. I think they just need to win a couple of games out of the last 5 and then the title is confirmed. But we start off on Friday night where Middlesbrough take on Norwich City. Of course, Middlesbrough inside that top 6 in 4th place. Norwich just outside in 8th. Norwich been a bit 50-50 really as of late. Picked up a 0-0 draw against Rotherham United in their last game. Not really the form that you want to be on going into the final few games of the season, especially when you want to push on for that top 6. Middlesbrough picked up a 2-2 draw against Bristol City in their last game as well. They are winless in their last 3. But I am going to go for a Middlesbrough victory in this game. I do think it'll be very tight, but I think Middlesbrough will just get through this one with a 1-0 victory. Next up is Sheffield United against Cardiff City. Of course, Sheffield United in that other automatic promotion spot in 2nd place. Cardiff City, their 1-0 defeat against Sunderland the other day. We've got a very tough fixture this week, and I'm going to back the Blades to pick up all 3 points in this one. I'm going to go for a nice, comfortable 2-0 victory for Sheffield United. We move on now to Bloomfield Road, where Blackpool take on Wigan Athletic. Blackpool in 24th against Wigan in 23rd. Both of these teams already look down at the moment, but there's a chance for either one of these sides to take all 3 points away from the other one. It could end in a draw, but I fancy Wigan Athletic to pick up all 3 points in this one. Both sides not been on the greatest of form. Blackpool, they've sacked multiple managers this season. They've got their caretaker coach at the moment, but just the past few games that they have played, they have conceded so many goals. 3 to Luton, 3 to Cardiff, 3 to Preston, 4 to Coventry City. They concede a lot of goals, and I'm going to fancy Wigan Athletic to pick up all 3 points in this one. I will back both sides to score, and I do think it'll be quite a close game, but I do think Wigan will just come away with all 3 points in a 2-1 away victory. Next up is Millwall against Preston North End. Both of these teams are on 62 points, joint 5th. Millwall lead the way on goal difference between Millwall, Blackburn and Preston, and this one is going to be a very tough test. Both strong contenders for the playoffs. I think this one will end up in a draw. I'm going to go boring. Millwall, they failed to score in their last 4 games, and especially coming up against one of the best defences in the league, I think this one is going to end up in a stalemate, and I'm going to go for a 0-0 here. I think both sides will be pretty happy with. Maybe not Millwall, seeing that they are winless in their last 4. But, coming up against these tight games, points are valuable. Obviously both sides will want to pick up all 3 points. But I think a draw, good result in this game. We move on now to Loftus Road, where Queen's Park Rangers take on Coventry City. QPR still at danger of going down, although they did pick up a very good 2-2 draw against West Bromwich Albion in their last game. They have gone on an absolute horrid run, but maybe things can slowly turn around now for Gareth Ainsworth at Queen's Park Rangers, coming up against the Coventry City side that are in the top half of the Championship table. You could really say that they're still in with a chance of making top 6. They are currently 9th place, although they would have to go on a really good run. 2-2 draw against Watford in their last game. Prior to that, a 0-0 draw against Swansea City. I'm going to go for a shock result here, and I'm going to back Queen's Park Rangers to pick up all 3 points. I feel like they are going to turn around on this bad form that they've been on, and Coventry City, pretty tough opponent to do it against, although they have picked up a load of draws lately. I'm going to go for a 2-1 QPR win in this one. As I said, a surprise result, but I'm gonna back them to pick up all 3 points in this game. Next up, Reading against Burnley. Reading in the last game lost 2-1 against Preston North End, Burnley, once again, absolutely superb. Beat Sheffield United 2-0. And I think they've pretty much guaranteed the title now. I know it's not 100% confirmed yet, but I think we all know they're going to do it. Especially against Reading, who have just sacked their manager after the defeat against Preston, Paul Ince. So they're bringing in a caretaker manager for this game, and I'm going to back Burnley to pick up a nice, comfortable 3-0 win. We move on now to the New York Stadium, where Rotherham United take on Luton Town. Luton Town currently in third place, doing really, really well. And, they're going to put some pressure on Sheffield United for that automatic promotion spot. But I do think that both Burnley and Sheffield's promotion to the Premier League is pretty much over. And I think Luton Town, they're guaranteed in the top 6 now. So they'll have to focus on the playoffs. But I do think they'll pick up all 3 points in this game. Rotherham United, they've been pretty good as of late. Picked up a 0-0 draw against Norwich in their last game. Beat West Bromwich Albion 3-1. Picked up a 0-0 draw against Hull City. I just feel like Luton Town will just get the better of them in this game. It will be a very tight one. I'm just going to go for the narrow 1-0 Luton Town win. But I think they'll get the job done. And we'll move on now to Stoke City, who take on West Bromwich Albion. This one is going to be a very good one. Really nothing in it between these two teams. Just a mid-table clash. We're going to see a good game here. West Brom picked up a 2-2 draw against QPR in their last game. They are winless in their last 4. Stoke City, they've been on a pretty good run themselves, scoring quite a lot of goals. Sunderland 5-1, beat Rovers 3-2. They beat Coventry City 4-0, but as of late, they did pick up a 2-1 defeat against Bristol and a 0-0 draw against Birmingham City, the most recent result. I'm going to go, as I said, for quite a high-scoring game in this one, but I am going to back West Bromwich Albion to pick up all 3 points in a 3-2 away win. Hopefully, the game will live up to the hype. And we move on now to Sunderland against Birmingham City, where, again, I think Birmingham's pretty much safe at this point. Sunderland, they are in 10th place. Again, they could make top 6. Anything is still possible, but again, they would have to put on a really good run until the end of the season. And I'm going to go for a draw in this game anyway. Birmingham City, as of late, their form has been excellent. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this game. Next up is Swansea City against Huddersfield Town. This one is going to be a pretty good one. Both sides are on some really good form. Swansea City started off with that 2-0 victory against Bristol City, and then they beat Cardiff 3-2 in the South Wales derby. They pick up a 0-0 draw against Coventry City, and then most recent result, picked up a 2-0 victory against Wigan Athletic. Huddersfield Town did pick up a 2-2 draw against Blackburn Rovers in their last game, but prior to that, beat Watford in a 3-2 win. Scored 4 against Middlesbrough, beat Millwall 1-0. They've been up against some really tough opponents, and Neil Warnock's done a really good job, and it's not confirmed yet, but I think, a few more good results, I think Huddersfield Town will have survived the drop. I'm going to say a 2-1 away win for Huddersfield Town in this game. Have been really impressive as of late, and we move on now to Vicarage Road for the penultimate game for this game week. Watford against Bristol City. Mid-table clash this game. Watford not being on the greatest form at all. I'm going to go for a draw in this game. I'll back both sides to score. 1-1 draw. It's really the only result I can predict for this one. Again, any side could win this one, but it's just so evenly matched between these two. And the draw's the fair result in this one. So 1-1 draw. And then we finish off with Blackburn Rovers against Hull City. Blackburn just still in that top 6, scraping by. 62 points, as I mentioned, the exact same as Millwall and Preston. But they will have to start picking up some results soon if they want to stay in there. It's not been looking good for them the past few games. But the back at home at this one, they'll know that they need to start picking up some points against the Hull City side that have been looking pretty decent as of late. They've picked up quite a lot of draws. Did actually pick up a very good 1-0 victory against Millwall in their last game. But I am going to back Blackburn Rovers to pick up all 3 points. It's not what Preston fans want to hear. It will be a pretty tight one. Hull City do have a pretty good defence. Blackburn Rovers, they haven't been scoring that many goals this season. I am just going to go for the narrow 1-0 scoreline. Blackburn, they know they need to start picking up some points, so I think they'll pick up all 3 points in this game. But I don't think it's over yet. The playoff push, I do think something will change. Either Blackburn or Millwall will definitely drop out. There's still quite a lot of games to go. I know there's only 5, but anything can change. But that wraps up my Game Week 41 score predictions. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. And I will see you all in my next video.